What's up, everyone? This is Saya from legadodelmetal.com. If you're watching us on YouTube or listening in Spotify, remember to subscribe, follow, like. That's very important to keep spreading the news all over Latin America. And today I'm with a band that I'm particularly pretty excited to introduce because I discovered this band when they were in a lineup for one event in Los Angeles. I'm always checking out new bands for me. And I got very excited when I listened to their song Ceremony. The reason why is because it had so many elements, not only from the modern metal, but also new metal, a little bit of industrial pop, a little bit of electronic, and to me was like boom, open to a new world. So I want to give a warm welcome to Holy Words. Hi Nick, hi Kat, how are you guys?
We're good. How are you?
Well, we are very excited, and because many people in Latin America are just getting to know you, can you tell us a little bit about how did the band got together? What pushed you to start the band as it is now?
Oh my gosh, it was quite a journey. We never really intended it to be a band, and it kind of just happened. We've been making music for many years. We've known each other for a very long time, and we were making music in a former project. And in 2015, my parents passed, and it was about 2 years. We were kind of just making music while I was healing. And in 2017, we played a first show in LA at a venue we hadn't played, and it changed everything for us. We kind of just did it as like a one night only, but then the response from the fans and a bunch of new people that had never heard us or our music before, everybody was like, who are you guys? And when can I see you again? And then, so we just started booking more shows and just kind of figured we'll just keep going until we, I don't know, don't anymore. And then it just kept going, right?
Yeah, that's right. I remember we didn't have a band name, but we had a show.
Yeah.
So we had to figure out what to call the band, and then we landed on Holy Wars.
Yeah, we landed on Holy Wars, knowing now, he always knew, but I see now the Megadeth comparison will just be with us forever.
Yes, actually, I was going to ask if the Holy Words had any meaning. Of course, we all metal fans know the Megadeth name and all of that, but is it related? It's something else? Does it have any meaning to you itself?
Yeah, I mean, personally, it was a very personal title to choose. And Nick, because it was my parents that had passed, and the first EP that we wrote called Mother Father was a collection of music that I was writing while I was dealing with that loss. And so Nick was like, if this is going to be a project, I feel like you should name it, which was so much pressure. And so I named it because, there was two reasons. My brother he was part of this born again Christian, dare I say, his version of it was very cult-like, and he disowned my family since I was 10 years old. So I've always had a holy war existing in my actual family, and I've seen the pain that it's caused my parents and my family. I haven't talked to my brother since I was maybe, around that age, and there was a lot of turmoil. And because this album, this EP was about my parents, it just felt like I had to connect to them. And then when I was going through that period of my life, it really felt like a holy war within me, where I just felt like I didn't know what to believe in. I lost my faith at that time. But of course, he was very aware of Megadeth, as we all are. And I guess I just assumed because it was a song, it wouldn't have really conflicted. But yeah, it's been a part of our journey, the Megadeth comparison ever since.
Well, actually, I didn't thought about Megadeth at the beginning because I got to know you with the song Ceremony, and as you said, people heard you singing. It was an impact for them. I felt the same way when I heard the song. I know that the song has a lot of listen in Spotify. I think it's in your top 1 or 2, if I'm not mistaken. What did it mean, this single, to you? and the amount of people that are reaching right now with the song.
Oh, it's incredible. I'll let Nick go on this one first because this is probably, you said, your favorite song of the album so far.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite songs from the album, and we felt immediately when we wrote it, we felt like this one was very special. And sometimes you think that, and not everybody agrees, you know. And this time we felt like this one is really special, and every time we would play it for people, just the recording, they would say, "Oh, I really like that song." And then we started playing it live before it was released, and people would say after the show, "What was that one song that you played? I really like that song." And that is a very rare thing, that you write something that most people that you talk to agree that there's something really unique about that song. I don't know how you do that or how you do it again. I'm gonna try and figure it out. But so far it's been great. I'm very, very proud of that song. We both are. Every time it comes on, they're playing it on Octane right now, and that has been really exciting. Every time it comes on in the car, it sounds so good and it's so exciting to hear. And it's brought a lot of new people into our lives, like you reaching out because you appreciate the song has been really wonderful.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be hard for you guys to create a very good song. Just today, I just heard the teasing for the song that you're coming out soon with the new album that you posted on social media. I know that you guys, and from what I listen, because what I've been listening to your songs, you come from a lot of influences. Can you tell me a little bit about what influences have bring you here to create music?
Wow, there's so many. I feel like it circulates in both of our heads so much. I come from a totally different background than Nick. You grew up in the punk scene and more like metalcore scene.
Yeah.
And I was very much into like alt and Bjork and like a totally different sound. But I mean, but that I remember loving System of a Down and loving Rage Against the Machine. So it wasn't like completely unheard of, but getting our influences together and to kind of align, especially make sense in a song, because throwing a lot of genres in a song could go really bad really quickly. But yeah, I think we're influenced by so many things, and it really does change. Like when we first started this project, we were heavily inspired by the band Failure, Queens of the Stone Age, Yeah Yeah Yeahs. And as the sound has progressed through the years, we've been pulling in, not even intentionally, but like as we write, when we hear it back, we're like, oh, this one has a Rage Against the Machine vibe, and this one has this type of band. And some fans even connect us to bands or artists that we don't even really listen to, but they're like, oh, I hear this and that. And I'm like, that's great, So I feel like music is forever evolving, and even with our project, we're just always inspired, and that usually changes along the way what inspires us.
And are we going to expect this in the new album that it's coming, the new release? What can you tell us a little bit about it?
Definitely, I feel like, I mean, it's one sound, but it's not like ceremony. It definitely, we have some tracks that are my personal favorite that really, I mean, what would you say, skin deep and everything you like? What, it's more grunge, I would say.
Yeah. Like the question is like, can we expect more stuff like Ceremony on the album? And I would say absolutely. But Kat and I have always been into a lot of different types of music, and trying to see how those different songs can go together on a body of work. Because, we've always loved bands like Radiohead and Muse, bands that can do lots of different types of songs. We love bands that it's a hardcore band, and every song is hardcore. And that is really awesome. And we love bands that they only do sad songs, they don't do indie songs. And we've always liked to kind of mix it up. So hopefully they all sound like they go together, but there's definitely like some songs that are completely different than Ceremony on there. And hopefully people listen to the album and they don't know what to expect from one song to the next. But so far we've heard from people that have listened to the album that it's like a start to finish, front to back album, which is very cool.
Well, I'm very old school, so I'm probably gonna listen from back to the end because I just cannot. It's the way the artist made it for us, so I am 100% for it. And I wanted to say that I've been also checking a lot of your music videos and some of your musical presentations on YouTube, and I found your visuals very. I mean, they look very expensive. They look very high class. I love them, and I want to know how important it's the visual world that you want to project in them for you as a band.
So important. I come from a filmmaking background, so it's so hard to release a song and not have a visual attached to it because those two worlds are not separate for me. We have this joke between us that every time that I write a chorus or something, I'm like, or I'm recording it, I'm like, I already see the video. But budgets are finite, so you can't go crazy on everyone. And I will say, the ones that we have put out has been very conservative budgets. So I worked with so many of my friends. I've creative directed most of them. I edited a lot of them. So it really was just me making fun stuff with our friends. And so it's really great to hear that it does hold up, to maybe even some bigger budget music videos, because to me, the visual is so important. And if I can say a lot, whether it's surreal or with a captivating narrative, then I feel like we're doing service to the song.
Surprised. I'm very surprised that you even have been directing and creating all the back of the story. For me, it's amazing. And you guys come from a city, that Los Angeles, that it's very influenced for a lot of musical backgrounds, but there's also a lot of competition. There is a new wave of modern rock that it's coming out. There are many bands in many areas. But even though now you have been invited to participate in the Louder Than Life festival, how are you feeling about it? That it's a huge festival with a lot of rock and metal bands. There's gonna be fans from all over. I'm not gonna say all over America. It's gonna be, people from Latin America go there. I know some people from Europe that do too. So how you're feeling to be exposed to that many people right now?
It's a gift. It's definitely the thing that keeps us going. Like I said, when we started this band, we didn't know how far we were going to take it. So every festival, every new fan that says, your music means a lot to me, or, Ceremony, when they read the lyrics, if they're like, oh, this is like, we have a fan I saw recently, it was like, how do you guys always know like exactly how I'm feeling, and you put out exactly what I need to hear at that time? So situations like that and festivals and reaching new people all around the world, that is what's keeping us going. The love of the music is there and will always be there, but the connection with the listener, the viewer, that I think is something that we don't take for granted at all.
And as a band, aside of Louder Than Life, what other plans do you have for touring? Do you have any plans, around there to come to Latin America? Would you like to come to Latin America anytime soon?
Yes, I've been waiting for those. Come to Chile, come to Brazil. I'm like, come on, ask us. We've been to. We really want to go to South America. We have been around to. We finally made it to Europe last year. We made it to Mexico. The year before, Evanescence took us to Puerto Rico. So we've been getting these great opportunities to step out of our country a little bit, but it definitely takes some budget to get there and visas, but we want to keep it going. So it is on my personal dream, my bucket list, to go to South America. You've been with other artists, I think, right?
Yeah.
And you've always said the fans are the best there too. You're like, oh, they really go off for you.
Yeah. Well, so not South America, it's not South America, but right now we have Louder Than Life announced, and then the Warp Tour.
On the Warp Tour,
Then-
yes. Yeah, we have a tour later in the year that we're supporting, but it hasn't been announced yet. But that's a U.S. run. But so far, not South America. But I'm hoping for the right opportunity, the right tour or festival. We definitely want to go. So whoever's listening.
Any producers, this is your time. So for the people that have not listened to Hollywood, but they are looking into this video right now, they are looking at the interview. If you can pick one song to introduce yourself as a band, which one would it be and why? It doesn't have to be the same. It can be one for each one of you.
I mean, I know it sounds I know we're going to say the same one, aren't we?
What's that?
I would say Ceremony, and it's not just because we dropped it, but what would you say?
Ceremony is, of course, but like, this album for us is like kind of a return, they say like a return to form, but it's still new for us, but it feels more like what we felt like when we started. And the song that we knew from the beginning was going to sort of kick off this era was I Feel Everything. So I think that's a good one too. I Feel Everything. Maybe like either one of those two.
I agree.
It's great. And before we wrap it up a little bit, as I said, you are part of this new wave of modern metal that is not, in the past we used to have this in metals that it's so structured, so in a box, like you cannot be influenced by other areas. And right now, the new wave of metal, everyone is doing metal, but in a different way. How do you see yourself in this new wave of bands that are coming up?
I think it's really exciting right now for what is happening in metal. I think having that inclusive, other genres and the open mindedness too for fans to kind of take in new artists that might be influenced by other genres. It's like a really pivotal time. How we play into that, I do feel like, we're amongst so many amazing bands that I'm happy to share the billings with. But we just, we really write music from the heart and what we want to say at that time. We're not really trying to fit a certain mold or a genre. Maybe our label might be like, please let us know how to market you. But, to be a part of this new wave of metal, I personally think is quite an honor because I think it's killing it right now and it's charting. It's like when people said rock is dead and, metal's non-existent on the Grammys, etc. I think we're now starting to see that that's very much not the case. And it's even exceeding some other genres that you would not expect. But I don't know. How do you feel?
Yeah. Like how do we see like where we fit amongst the other bands? I know like when we first started, the live show was really important to us, and we really like go a lot more aggressive than most bands, I think, when we play live. And I think the people that have seen us play would agree too. I think that's something that like is a bit different about what we do. And then the other thing that I think is important that helps us have our own kind of place is what Kat sings about. Trying to really support what she wants to speak about lyrically and the message. I think that like that is uniquely our own. And then, Kat and I have been writing music together for a long time. So we already kind of have our own way of doing things that's different, So I think those things and just like a big appreciation for music. Like there's so many great bands out there that we love, Knock Loose and Turnstile, and we take influence from all of them.
Okay, it has been a pleasure to have you here, but before I let you go, would you like to leave a message for your Latino American people that are watching right now? Fans, no fans, whoever is watching right now, what will you tell them?
Well, nice to meet you if you're new to us. Just we appreciate the support, and I really appreciate people actually caring. There's so much music out there today 100,000 songs get uploaded a day, and that was stats from like 5 years ago, so it's probably more than that. So the fact that you take the time to choose to listen to us, I just think that that's like such a huge honor. So thank you, and I hope we can provide something really, really cool and personal to you, because we really hope our music gives people chills and makes you feel something.
Perfectly said. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Perfectly said.
that's how I feel. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Kat. Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you, Hollywooders, for being here with us today. Y a todos los que nos están viendo alrededor de Latinoamérica, recuerden ir a Spotify, YouTube, busquen los videos de Hollywooders, denle en subscribe, sigan. Recuerden que las bandas solo crecen con nuestro apoyo y la única manera de verlos en Latinoamérica es a través del apoyo de todos nosotros. Así que este es Zion del legadodelmetal.com. En otra entrevista nos vemos en la siguiente y gracias.
Satiated, now your belly's full.